Hola y bienvenido a Learn Spanish in SpanishDict.com. I'm Paralee Whitmire and I'm your teacher. Today you'll be learning the difference between the two to-be verbs, ser and estar, like soy alta, estoy cansada, y mucho más. ¡Vámonos! Time and time again, I've had Spanish language learners ask me, what's the difference between ser and estar? It may seem a little complicated at first because both verbs mean to be in Spanish, while in English, we only have one way to say to be. To be. Now, a lot of native Spanish speakers will tell you that there aren't really any rules to know when to use ser or when to use estar, that it's more of something that you feel. Kind of like in English, how you know there's a difference between further and farther, or especially and especially. But can you write a rule down for when to use one or the other? It's harder than you think. This is where I come in. I've had pretty good success in teaching the differences between ser and estar using acronyms. For estar, we're going to use place, and for ser, we'll use doctor. In each of these acronyms, the individual letters stand for general rules on when to use the verb, so that if you're not sure which one to use, you can just run through the letters of the acronyms and then you'll know when to use the verb, at least until you develop that feel for when to use one over the other. Okay, let's start with estar. I think it's a little bit easier. Have you memorized all of the conjugations of estar yet? We've used it in several lessons, so you should know it by now. I'll give you the English definition and you tell me the Spanish conjugation. Listo? I am. Estoy. You are. Informal. Estás. You are formal, or he or she is. Está. We are. Estamos. You are plural and informal. And remember, you only use this one in Spain. Estáis. And last, you are plural and they are. Están. Bien, you'll get used to conjugating with more and more practice, and then you won't even have to think about it. Estar is pretty much like a regular AR verb, right? Except it's a little irregular in the yo form, and it has those tildes, or the written accents over some of the A's to show you that it's pronounced a little bit differently. All right, now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about when to use estar. I like to use the acronym PLACE. In place, P stands for position, the L stands for location, A is action, C condition, and E emotion. Ahora, let's start with P, position, which refers to the position you're in, or simply the posture a person has. Por ejemplo, estoy sentado. I am sitting down. Estoy sentado. Estás acostada. You are lying down. Estás acostada. Siguiente, the L stands for location, where a person or a thing is located, and these locations can be real or imaginary. Puedes decir, el café está cerca de la librería. The cafe is near the bookstore. El café está cerca de la librería. Estoy en una oficina. Estoy en una oficina. Mi abuelo está en la luna. My grandfather is out of it. Or, my grandfather is on the moon. Mi abuelo está en la luna. Tercero, action. Any ongoing action, which is called the progressive tense. You'll learn about the present progressive in the next lesson, and it involves the verb estar and a gerund, which in English is an ing verb, In Spanish, you'll learn those endings in the next lesson. So, por ejemplo, estamos comiendo manzanas. We are eating apples. Estamos comiendo manzanas. Están leyendo periódicos. They are reading newspapers. Están leyendo periódicos. Cuarto, tenemos condition. Any temporary physical or mental condition falls under this category. You remember, when someone asks you, ¿Cómo estás? They want to know how you're feeling, right? That's your current condition. Estoy tan cansada. I am so tired. Estoy tan cansada. Ella está enferma hoy. She is sick today. Está enferma hoy. Y último, emotion. Emotion can fall under temporary mental condition as well, but this is more of the emotional part, right? So, to explain how you're feeling using Estar, you do exactly what you would do when you answer the question, ¿Cómo estás? Again. Estoy preocupada. I'm worried. Estoy preocupada. Estamos contentos. We are happy. Estamos contentos. Okay, es todo para estar. Place, position, location, action, condition, and emotion. But if all of that is a little too much to remember, you can try a shorter acronym. LOCO. The LO stands for location, and the CO stands for condition. And pretty much all of the uses for place fall under LOCO as well. And I also have a little rhyme I like to teach for the uses of Estar. How you feel and where you are, that is when you use Estar. But if you don't want to bother with all of the acronyms and rhymes, then just remember that in general, now this is very general, Estar is used to describe the temporary aspects of a noun. Ahora, vamos a aprender ser. Ser also means to be, remember? And it is a lot more irregular than Estar in its conjugations. So, let's try and conjugate them together. I'll give you the English, you give me the Spanish, and we'll see if you're right. Listo? I am. Soy. You are. Informal. Eres. You are. Formal. Or he or she is. Es. We are. Somos. You are, plural and informal, and only used in Spain. Sois. And finally, you are, formal and plural, or they are. Son. You should remember quite a few of the conjugations of ser from the lessons that we did on personal descriptions and origins. But when do you use this verb? I like to use doctor. Description, occupation, characteristics, time, origin, and relationship. Primero, we've already talked about personal descriptions, so this one should be easy for you. You can also describe yourself using your name, right? Jorge es guapo. Jorge is handsome. Jorge es guapo. Soy para Lee. I'm para Lee. Soy para Lee. Next, we have occupations, which is the job a person has. Por ejemplo, eres estudiante. You are a student. Eres estudiante. Soy profesora de español. I am a Spanish teacher. Soy profesora de español. And while in English we would say, you are a student, or I am a teacher, in Spanish you omit the indefinite article when you're talking about a person's occupation. Eres estudiante. Soy profesora. Siguiente, we have characteristics, which describe what a person is like. This is a lot like personal description, except it focuses more on personality traits rather than physical traits. María es estudiosa. María is studious. María es estudiosa. Su novio es romántico. Her boyfriend is romantic. Su novio es romántico. Cuarto, tenemos time. We learned about time a few lessons ago. Es la 1:30. It is 1:30. Es la 1:30. Son las 4:25. It is 4:25. Son las 4:25. Quinto es origin. Your origin describes where you are from, and this can be your neighborhood, your state, your region, your country, or your nationality. Por ejemplo, Celia es de España. Celia is from Spain. Celia es de España. Adela es peruana. Adela is Peruvian. Adela es peruana. And notice here that when you write out the nationality of a person, you don't need to capitalize it. But when you write the name of a country, you do. And último, we have relationship, how a person is related to you. This is either a blood relationship or just any type of relationship, friend, boyfriend, anything like that. Minnie es la nieta de Hazel y Johnny. Minnie is the granddaughter of Hazel and Johnny. Minnie es la nieta de Hazel y Johnny. Marcos es su ex-novio. Marcos is her ex-boyfriend. Marcos es su ex-novio. Es todo para hacer. If doctor is a little too long for you, try using dot, description, origin, and time. Most of the doctor uses will fit into one of these three categories. Y no te preocupes de ser y estar. Don't worry about ser and estar. Once you use them more and more often in conversation, you'll just know when to use them. You'll feel it. And until then, you have place and doctor. But speaking of those acronyms, don't rely too heavily on any rules or acronyms that you may have. Use them more as generalities or guidelines until you develop that feel. To get started, let's see what you know. I'll give you a few sentences and you tell me whether you would use ser or estar. Don't worry, I'll leave the acronyms up on the top of the screen for you. ¿Listo? Son las 3 or están las 3. Son las 3. Time. Soy romántico or estoy romántico. Soy romántico. Characteristics. Él es en una oficina or él está en una oficina. Él está en una oficina. Location. Somos doctores or estamos doctores. Somos doctores. Occupation. Eres enferma or estás enferma. Estás enferma. Condition. Qué bien, es todo para hoy. You can practice everything you learned at this lesson in SpanishDict.com/learn. There you'll find the picture flashcards for the vocabulary that you learned in this lesson, as well as games, the quizzes, the forum, and video chat. If you enroll in the course, we'll keep track of your points for you and you can compare yourself to others on the leaders board. If you have any questions about the differences between ser and estar, check out the reference section at SpanishDict.com/reference. As always, everything here at SpanishDict.com is completely free, so check it out. And until next time, hasta luego y adios.